hombre extraordinario.
Me impresiona mucho.
Pues ¿sabes qué? Yo creo que no es tanto el físico, es más bien la personalidad que tiene y todo lo que proyecta.
Ya me lo imagino con su smoking blanco, un martini en una mano y un costoso habano en la otra.
Provocativo. Atractivo.
A new stereophonic sound spectacular.
Hello there, and welcome to the exciting world of HIP. This is a new departure in language instruction for English-speaking people who want to talk to and be understood by jazz musicians, hipsters, beatniks, juvenile delinquents, and the criminal fringe.
Bonjour madame, bonjour monsieur. Nous allons, grâce à ce disque créé spécialement pour vous, essayer de tirer ensemble le maximum de qualité sonore de votre chaîne haute fidélité.
Sit back, relax, and close your eyes.
Welcome to the Agile Lounge, the virtual Agile Lounge. Yes, today, for this Saint Jean-Baptiste Friday weekend, the Agile movement is not very agile, told us Mike Beedle on July the 9th, 2017, so almost 7 years or 6 years ago. I could have waited to make that show around that date, but for some reason, I know a lot of you are going to enjoy the summer, especially those on the northeast of this North American continent, where we have summer just for a glimpse of July and August, with all the vacation and so on. So that's why you see in the ticker that I might do some off time and rebroadcasts on the couple of Fridays between, let's say, the 30th next week all the way to August, where I'm going my grid off again for the 5th time. I'm going to go a grid off for probably, this time, the entire month of August, coming back mid-September. Doesn't mean that I won't help anyone or whatever, but we'll see. Anyways, it's going to be a grid off. So probably Anna and Elizabeth, and maybe, who knows, maybe Shun, will help me do some kind of clipping, rebroadcasts of stuff like this. So it's going to be pre-programmed, so you will have some video, and if you miss something, because now we have a library of a lot of videos since 121 episode, and for those who wonder who is that guy on the camera with that caution not for mentally immature, well, yes, I'm your co-chef by my real name, Alexandre Frédéric Joly. I'm a business agility coach. I'm an executive coach. I'm an entrepreneur. I've got several business. I'm implicated in a lot of things. I'm helping startup with financing, everything. So if you want to know more about me and also my main company so far, which is the Agile Lounge within the AFG Solution Group, well, you just have to add, if I could find it. My goodness, I used to be multitask because I'm from the call center environment, but now, for some reason, here it is. So yes, if you are curious about the main stuff right now, because something it's something coming up this fall of 2023, I hope, if I could have some times and other thing, but it's going to be a new website to show everything that I do, because right now, agile-lounge.com is mainly all my professional services to help you on demand. We are special, because at the Agile Lounge, yes, we are special. You'll see it there. And again, if you want to help me, smash the like button, so it's gonna help me, especially on YouTube and Rumble, to be shown a lot more evidently. And but today I'd like to go straight forward on this Friday, the 23rd of June, the eve of Saint Jean-Baptiste for the people in Quebec, but also because Saint Jean-Baptiste used to be a celebration. It's a Catholic celebration to hide the sun movement once again. For those of you like me who are passionate about astrotheology or even the real astrophysics behind it. So we all know that the solstice happened this week, And 3 days after, the sun is reversing. Actually, it's a perception we have from where we are in the Northern Hemisphere. So, and yes, I'm talking about physics because today I'd like to go through this article of Mike Beedle that he did publish on medium.com. Let me, for the those of you who are watching on LinkedIn, as well as on LinkedIn, and what is it again? Melon app, you're so difficult. You make my life difficult. Did you know that? But for now, that's the only thing I could pay to do this voluntarily. And I'll come back to it again. Once again, you see, now I'm talking about the experience from Melon app over at Streamlab. Yeah, because now they call themselves Talk Studio Streamlabs. And no wonder why. I'm not even like, Jesus Christ. Is it better like this? Nah, maybe, yes. Anyways, so I'd like to honor this great article because I believe that even 6 years later, a lot of people still need, actually, to be reminded of how much we are part of the problem, those who call themselves the Agile People or the Agilists. And a lot of people, when we post it, they don't read it that much. So nobody wants to read. So I'm going to do a lecture today. I'm going to read you this amazing article. And sometimes I'll update my thinking of it because I was in agreement with him, of course, back then. But things are changed. Things did evolve, hopefully, in some aspect, because we're going to see 5 aspects that Miguel that describe, and so yeah, it's gonna be something I think worthwhile. So as you could see, for those who watch, because I know this is for also my Dare Real Agile Podcast, and you have all the link in the description for this YouTube, LinkedIn, and Rumble video to go and subscribe for exclusive audio content on all platforms of your choice, starting by Spotify, Amazon Prime, Apple Podcasts, Deezer. I'm freaking everywhere. Thank you again to Samuel Ball for that great job of syndicate me and the podcast, who is now in the top 50 for business agility on Apple Podcasts, and I'm on the top 100 for Agile. But I used to choose the entrepreneurial because the Dare Real Agile will become a lot more beyond Agile. And again, as for those who follow me and know my mindset, I'm into this. So we're going to go through this article today. So I don't want to keep you too much before this long weekend, or even you're on a weekend and you have a cafe with you, because as my new intro that I would like to thank the Launch King. The Launch King made it. He made the song and the mixing of it and the music. So thank you for the Launch King over at launchkingradio.com, and the link, it's also in the description if you like, if you love this kind of jazz and lounge culture that I'm part of. I'm an international delight and an international lounge, part of the International Lounge Network. It's a lot more valuable than anything, according to this Agile community that is not very agile. We're going to see it, I think, right away. Let's not waste too much time today with any announcement. But be aware that starting the first Friday of July, we are going to rebroadcast a couple of things, or it's going to be some clipping to keep you waiting for the amazing third season of Dare Real Agile. That will start with my new year in September, and also the 5th season and 5th year of the Scrum Beer. And we are cooking for you a new place in Pointe Saint-Charles. It might not be the Foragin, it might be something else, and we'll see if you like it. Or we are going to go back to our original ideas of moving from place to place every 2 months. So tell me in the comment below what you think about it. And so without further ado, sit back, relax, take a beverage of your choice, and very important, before I go, because I received so many last week, and since I did my thing with Isabel, so I would like to thank you very much, Judith, Marie, Gianni, Sylvia, and Viviana, for your cafe. And some of you also send me some Satoshi in terms of smallest part of Bitcoin, so I really appreciate it. If you want to do like those beautiful people, mostly women this week, or maybe not, who knows, I don't know, but anyways, there seems to be feminine names up there, so thank you so much, merci beaucoup, muchas gracias, grazie mille for that, and if you'd like to do like them, you have the link in the description to buy me a coffee. I love coffee. I don't do drugs. I don't drink much alcohol, but I do this. So maybe a little context. That was like, 2016 was the year of the SFE. The SFE was coming out and blast with their version 2 of scaling agile, whatever. And also Martin Fowler at one of the, and let's play some music in the background, shall we? If you don't mind, let's do this. Maybe a little bit too hard. Okay, so because I love to have some sort of music in the background, just to empty the white noise that we could have from the surrounding. So yes, the context of it was in this movement of people starting complaining in the mid 2010s after some kind of 10 years, and as much as Beedle and friends at the Enterprise Scrum, like me, and probably Daniel Mizik, probably Michael Orman, probably Suryu, and a bunch of other innovator and thinking, divergent and thinking, the bunch of those who probably the majority of these constipated people, especially on LinkedIn, you find us negative, but we are not negative. We are just here to make you see that you don't get it, like Mike was doing it a lot more polite than me and some other of my colleagues who I admit we have to tune our behavior, and I'm working on it. I don't want to speak with the others, but anyways, we were busy really making something great with Enterprise Scrum for business agility. We're part of this business agility movement with also Steve Denning as a thinker at Forbes and everything. So that was very great, 2011 to 2013, 14. And at some point, some of the co-signatory of the Agile Manifesto for software development were starting to complain about the adoption and the activation of like when we say values, but what is values? And the principle especially, how do you turn it into pattern, into framework, or into ways of doing things? And some people start forgetting the opening of the manifesto, that we together are here to uncover new ways of delivering value and to teach it to others. So we're going to see. This article, for me, it's still present, but the context was there because a bunch of us, the more innovator, were working to agilize everything in the entire enterprise that some of us call business agility, with a proposed definition that came out very late in 2017. And Martin Fowler in Australia was coining the term agile industrial complex to denounce the disgusting list of the big firm like McKinsey, Deloitte, and others that were doing agile, transforming this adjective into a word to sell fear and to just push a kind of a buzz thing. And by the way, I'm coming up, probably the last real live I'm going to do next week, the 30th. It's going to be about this agile fake coach, because I realized that I just did it in French when I started this podcast of Agile Dare Real Agile with the Agile Wars, but in the fake series I should do it in English. So I'm gonna give you 4 signs, and it's also part of my training, Talent Agile, to help recruiter but also decision maker how to actually decipher if you have a real professional that will help you creating value for your customer and elevate your employees. So when you do business with Agile Lounge, it's a give and take, and we learn from each other, and you'll be able, but also, so I'm going to provide those 4 signs on this kind of agile fakeness, that still continue to this day. But of course, the industrial complex denounced by Martin Fowler back in the day, and also Dave Thomas in San Diego. No, it was in Amsterdam in 2015, I believe, at the GoTo conference, the famous like Agile is dead, and explained why. But most of the time, and even Ron Jeffrey wrote an article about the dark Agile. So those of you who are enough old like me and experienced in Scrum, Lean, and Agile movement since, at least in my case, it's 23 years. I was even in the movement before the manifesto. I started as a Scrum Master in 1999. So all of you out there who know the history, who know the memory of it, so you know. But the context was there, and Mike, instead of going on stage and screaming stuff, and by the way, he wrote this in July of 2017, and the same year, in Berlin, this is where he came, and we both have a background in physics, and we stated out loud that if you don't know substantion, which is the interrelation of the atom with the other element, that you could transpose to a human interaction easily. If you don't understand that concept of substantion, which is the interrelation first, and the movement, and how it is like in, out, all the way down, and you could configure any type of structure. So if you don't know that, you don't know Scrum. So it was like very, like in the last couple of years, of course he passed away not because he was too old or sick, but because someone killed him in the street of Chicago. Yeah, on March 23rd, 2018. That being said, let's honor him and his great mind when he wrote that. And by the way, 318 people upload this, because on Medium you could upload or you say nothing, and 10 people comment. But I want to go through the comment, and I have to be authentic with you, my friend. This Friday the 23rd, I'm off for Saint Jean-Baptiste, so this is a fake live, but I might be in a cafe if it's open, be behind. Maybe I'm behind, so you could chat with me if you like, but if you don't see any response, it's because I'm enjoying myself for this long weekend here in Quebec. So without further ado, let's dive into this with the first element of Mike Beedle. So Mike Beedle, he tells us like this: guys, let's say it out loud, without restraints, political correctness, or sugarcoating, shall we? The Agile movement is not very agile. This came up with another little conversation that I had, and remember now, I'm reading you, Mike Beedle, so every time you hear I, it's Mike Beedle speaking, alright? So this came up within another little conversation that I had with Jim McCarthy at the OSA, Open Space Agility, Facebook group. The other day, the author of the core protocols, which is Mr. McCarty, and a guy that has the uncanny ability to make me more blunt, as if I needed any help. For those who know Mike, that's kind of funny. But now, this statement is really getting to me, burning me really. How did this happen? Wouldn't you expect that we, the people that tell the entire world that Agile is the way to go, the way of the future, the better way, the wiser way, be Agile is what we do? So let's break it down a bit before it appears to be just another complaining rant. So number one, Agile Manifesto. Let's start here from the original source that defines what Agile is. As much as I am proud of the merit and accomplishments of the Agile Manifesto, it's really not a very good explanation of what Agile really is. Mind you, not that there is anything wrong with it, it is just not very well explained. I think Alistair Cockburn has done a good job with his Earth of Agile, with a better explanation. But I find myself at odds saying that the official source that defines Agile needs improvement. Should we be eating our own dog food? and iterate and improve. Jim McCarthy calls this abandonment irresponsible because the entire world depends on this, and I am starting to side with him. It would appear to some that we, the agilistas, are too proud to take criticisms, or afraid or the mirror and improve. Are we suffering from the very same syndrome that those that we so blatantly criticize for not changing fast enough? And all the question that Mike is asking now, be my guest. Try to answer this with your own viewpoint in the comment below. And all the link of some part of this article, like when he's expressing himself about the art of Agile of Alistair Cockburn and everything, I will put the link part in the description, but also most commonly in the pinned comment of Rumble and YouTube. So I am currently working, so still Mike Beedle speaking here. I am currently working my own version of a better explanation of Agile. I will publish an article on this soon, and I will see community feedback. You see how much it was great. But again, the official source is static, and this is not a good sign. Exactly. Number 2 now, these famous Agile Transformation that make us, the Agile consultant, not so agile and not so evolving. This needs very little explanation because everybody knows that Agile Transformation done by arguably Agile practitioner, and come join me next week for the fake Agile coach and 4 to 5 signs to decipher them and take them out of your organization. So Agile Transformation done by arguably Agile practitioner and Agile coaches, supported by arguably Agile leaders, are not Agile at all for the most part. In fact, most Agile transformation are managed through traditional management techniques. Some people even use Gantt chart. Yes, and I've seen it myself. I won't name any Montreal and Quebec City company, and even consulting firm like CGI. I don't mind to name you because you suck, guy. Because I saw some of your consultant and some other people doing Gantt chart, but instead of milestone, they call it sprint. And when they do a transformation roadmap, they use a Gantt chart. Bravo, bunch of loser. So most transformation plans look waterfallish: assess and vision, plan, train, coach, deploy, done. That's what I said. Like again, chart, and you make a fake sprinting or cycle. To make this worse, most of transformation plans are done by external entities from those being transformed. Oh yes, this is it. Like what I said, like the industrial complex with the McKinsey, Accenture, all of those bullshitter. Yeah, they come from the outside and they just disturb and destroy any kind of harmony with your people. I'm sorry, I told you I will comment on the article, but let's continue what Mike told us in this great article. So are done by external entities from those being transformed, which then force their disrespectful transformation plan onto others with little or no concern for their well-being, desire, or ability to transform. This is why if you go to my website, again, agile-launch.com, in my professional services section, you won't see a very, very extensive offering on transformation, of Agile transformation. No, you will see a transformation of maybe your business, your human resource to people care, maybe how to be more effective and so on. So, but this is more, we talked about adoption and evolution of the way you want to work and the way you want to elevate your employee. Because of that, because we were in agreement with Mike back then, 6 years ago, and ever since then, I did refine my approach as a consultant and professional services. So we don't do any Agile transformation anymore. We try to help you and meet you where you are and give you the best tool, the best information, the best training, and the best tips for you to go alone. And especially having people first in mind. And people first is two major people that we take care first. Your customer, because without customer, you don't have your business. And the second, of course, is those who do the work, those who serve your customer, so your employees. So we have to create more value and a better experience for your customer and more elevation and professional development to enhance the experience and the sense of fulfillment of your employees. So this is what you're gonna have with my 5 coaches and myself at the Agile Lounge for business agility. So take your tickets right now. And so the well-being, desire, ability to transform. Is that the Agile way? Come on, we know better. We know better. Did we? And this is why I miss Mike Beedle so much, because nobody now speak out like he did and with a kindness. And I wish I could tune my behavior to be more in tune with that way of saying this. But nevertheless, his voice is missing. And even if I try with the Dare Real Agile to bring back this kind of empirism and kindness and thoughtfulness of with the divergent and hello, and I was thinking that some of our colleagues will do the same, but everything seems to be... Anyways, I'm disgracing. Let's go back to the article, shall we? So you've heard Daniel Joseph Mizik. Yes! Daniel Mizik, it's for you, this one. Make this point time and time again. He still continue with his great story, Agile sucks, so do you. And yes, some of us have offering on more Agile transformation, more Agile transformation. For example, OSA, so again, it's open space, agility, and ES, Enterprise Scrum. Agile transformation, but we are not even close to make a dent in the overall picture. So that was in 2017, and as I said, in my case, I did something with my CAS, coaching and consulting agility as a service, on demand, specific to a specific tailor need. And I also do a more adoption through evolution within coaching and mentoring. So, and I'm inspired myself a lot with the work of Enterprise Scrum, and I'm using a lot of Enterprise Scrum to bring it into organization to agilize everything, actually. So, and please do share this video if you think some of your colleagues, some of your leaders need to hear this article from Mike Beedle about the Agile movement and stop being in a movement and act upon, transform these principles into patterns and teach them as the opening of the manifesto. And don't be static, create new ideas. So number 3 of this article is the Agile Frameworks. Let's do this. There are many things about the Agile Frameworks that are not very agile. Number 1, development and publishing. The way they are published, as Jürgen Appelo recently pointed out in his article, Agile Methodologies Are Not Agile. And I will probably give you the links. Yes, there's a link here. Perfect. Secondly, genericity. The way they map to different domains, most Agile frameworks are just for software or product development. Enterprise Scrum is the exception, as it handles 50 plus different activities to agilize all the other departments. And this is what we do, and we teach, and we help you here at the Agile Lounge. 3 of the Agile Framework paragraph. Scaling. The way they scale, most frameworks have one option to scale. Only one track mind, one size fits all. As if the scaling problem space was so simple or static. And most frameworks only scale within software development and product development once again. And again, Enterprise Scrum and the Agile Lounge CAS, Next Level Agility, is the exception, as it has over 1,024 combinations to scales, adapting to your context, into the reality of your market. Yes. Fourth, within this framework expansion, configuration. How configurable are Agile frameworks? It's a question to you. And let's see what Mike have to say. Well, most Agile frameworks don't have fully explicit configuration option or only make some parameters visible. For example, Scrum allows you to configure it with 1, 2, 3, or 4 week sprints. But there are very many other choices that are tacit. For instance, the introduction of techniques such as user story mapping, Moscow criteria, architecture scan, release planning, enterprise Scrum is an exception here as well, as it provides very many explicit configuration within a lot of canvases that I know Michael Ehrman was criticizing of it, but when you look at it, that's a way to reconfigure it into your context again. So it's more option because you have to speak to your worker, to your client, and to your stakeholders. Fifth, within this third point, guidance. For some Agile framework, even the guidance they provide is not very agile. For instance, SAFe, or should I say SFE. Okay, it is more agile than waterfall, but is it really agile? It's a question to you. Tell me, if SAFe, being more agile than waterfall, is it really agile? So that's a great article, isn't it? So let's go to the fourth part of this article. The Agile People, the Agilistas, whether you are a coach, a trainer, or a leader, or even a developer. So what is going on to make you not that so agile? So let's face it, as the interest in all things agile has exploded, the percentage of truly qualified agile people is decreasing literally by the minute. Sadly, our industry knowledge is very diluted. I worry about this. And Mike, 6 years ago, it's even worse because of the inflation of the certification without real experience or without real know-how of transforming these principles into pattern. And if you'd like to hear more about it from myself, next week again, on Friday the 38th, I'm going to do a special showcase mixing enterprise Scrum, open space agility, or should I say even more, the open business agility patterns, and giving you the 4 signs through, it's a gift from me to you, that from my training, Talent Agile, that you have the link in the description to book your session this summer with me. So Talent Agile, a specific workshop for talent acquisition people, but for any leaders that like to understand a real Agile coach, a great Scrum Master, a great product manager, and so on. And we're going to give you a glimpse next Friday. And this show, the Friday Live Agile, Dare Real Agile Podcast, with a very specific 4 signs to catch the fake and wrong coach. So let's continue with this fourth installment of this great article of Mike Beedle. So again, we are trying to change this by providing high quality education, exactly. But let's accept it. We are not making any substantial progress in reversing the trend. That was true when he wrote it in summer of 2017, and this unfortunately even worse today. Some of us did understand, like the Open Leadership Network, like I'm assuming also the great work that I'm starting to see, and I want to participate more of the Beta Codex. But you see, it's everything outside this agile wording. So we'll see. But I think we are in the divergent approach. You see what I mean? So all of the people want a conventional agile, because what we could add after 6 years. So he made that statement in 2017. I was agreeing with him. I was experiencing him also. And 6 years later, it's worsened into a conventional agility. So that's why we have to get out of it, because it's a total failure in software and product development. And it's unfortunately not a great kickstart for business agility. And I see more and more organizations that are a lot more in the agility type of uncovering new ways, and they're also in their experience with the people that work with them. that it's a way better pattern than anything that we should have teach with those 12 principles, especially of the Agile Manifesto for software development, but that evolve into business agility. But anyways, I'm digressing again because I'm so passionate about it. So, reversing the trend, I'm trying my best, but I need your help. And we'll see at the end of this article, that was a call for it too. So my only hope is that even those believing in bad Agile, or knowing bad Agile, or doing bad Agile, can benefit from it, and that therefore this gross collective ineptitude won't kill the Agile movement in its entirety. Poor Mike. You were such a visionary. Because unfortunately, as I mentioned, Agile has become worse than PMI. Agile has become worse than any classical project, standard, traditional project management. People are fed up. So yes, the movement have been killed, or the movement now is infected by change management people that don't know shit about agility. They don't know shit about business value. They just care, but in reverse psychology, like we saw in my last episode last week on the diversity, equity, and inclusion, my ass. Because you just lip service people and you think you're transforming the world of work and you think this is Agile, but it's not. Anyways. So your only hope was those of you that don't do. Even if you don't do a proper Agile, but you do some kind of Agile, that you will therefore like want to learn to not do this gross collective ineptitude. Yeah. So it's incredible, right? Fifth part of this, maybe I'm just looking to the time because maybe I read too fast. Tell me in the comment below. And by the way, in the comment below, tell me I'm wrong. Tell Mike Beedle he was wrong. But tell me why. You could make me a thumb down too. But tell me why. Tell me why you're so frustrated by what Mike Beedle and myself and Mizik and others have to say about it. Tell us why you are so in disagreement of our disagreeableness. It's no time to be agreeable and say, oh yes, you're right, Coach AF. No, if Mike Beedle and myself were wrong, tell us why. But give us some kind of chunk, that we'd like to understand why we are wrong, and give us some example that it's working for you, that the sphere is working for you, and how. I'm really open to know this. And actually, I did a mandate last year. In the last 2 years, I did use Save Me Too because the client have it. But with the, what they call it, the release train engineer, I tried to, enable them to a better enterprise Scrum type of way of seeing this. Because if they choose to have their art, the Agile release train as a Scrum team and some other with Kanban or DevOps, but I was like making sure that they understand the source of those system and framework, and they will apply it within their kind of big safe train, whatever they call it. But yes, I'm even helped a leadership group to create a lean portfolio management. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine how open I am? But it's not always a reciprocity from you guys who are in the CAPC, whatever thing, like the Agile project management or the Agile Safe. You're not that open to hear about Scrum at scale or less. Could we have a conversation? Could we have a real, and this discipline Agile people, they take everything like, it's like a mess in the kitchen. And they don't listen to the client when he says, no, I want to try Scrum for real. No. With Discipline Agile, we are going to tell you that Kanban is... No. You don't listen. They want Spinacopalia. They don't want Osoboko. But anyways, so they just mess the kitchen. That's what I call it. I love to use food as an analogy. Way better than construction work or whatever, because it's not Agile. So the fifth part of this great article, that the Agile movement is not very agile by Mike Beedle. So once again, If you just stumble here, please go back a little bit to understand the purpose of this. So agile implementation. Am I there yet? Yes, I am. Agile implementation. Finally, whether at the team, program, portfolio, or enterprise levels, the vast majority of people doing agile implementation, by whatever means, are not really following the agile principle all that well. For instance, they don't collaborate at all that well. They don't deliver working software or proficient product or services. They don't talk to the customer at all that much. And this, I have several examples even last week. They don't respond to change very well. And etc., and etc., and etc. We won't go to the 12th principle as Mike did in his article because you see me going. Oh, and by the way, I'm surprised he didn't use this one of this principle, my favorite, which is bringing people, maybe in the collaborate, yeah, they don't collaborate, but I would like to emphasize on one of the greatest things, because now you have in this AI world, this data mining world, is more and more type of augmented reality and technological digital world. I've heard a lot of CIO and CTO, whatever you want to call these C-level executive, technological or information or transformation, they so think that you are a shop, let's say you're a travel agency, but you use so much digitalization, you transform so much digitally that now the pushback is, we all become software shops, so we need to do agile. Oh my fucking God. It's have nothing to do about being agile. I don't mind if you want to use a kind of and I will be there to help you, but please, it's a reverse psychology once again. So you see, so because the principle of the agile software for those engineers that want to scream a little bit like, hey, could we be left and right brain and work together? Yeah, business and IT working together and togetherness to achieve something great. What is it? Satisfy your customer. So implementation don't go that way, especially with a Gantt chart of your agile transformation. So yes, we do training and coaching, but again, and especially with so many newcomers or new adopter of agile as practitioner, the percentage of good agile implementation is decreasing by the minute. And it's even decreasing by the second, I will say, nowadays. And it's not even good in agile implementation. It's just agile implementation. I don't see any great implementation. And he didn't. Yeah, so that's it. So is there a way to change this and improve? And excuse me a second. This is very disturbing. All right, thank you. Sorry about that. And okay, so I was saying, is there a way to change this and improve? So please help me. Let's do a collaborative community thing. I need your feedback. Because now I'm stating it, I'm reading it for you from Mike Beedle, plus my thoughts. And for those who know me, you know my point on this, you know what I'm trying to do. But I'm not alone here. I need your help. Yes, I'm humble. I need your help. So could you answer those questions that's coming up in the last part of this article? Is there a way to change this and improve as agile people? And he proposed something here. So I want you to give us more input. So Mike says, yes, it's an obvious answer. Let's make the agile movement more agile. Okay, so let's make the agile movement more agile. Oh, well, until then, the above description is the ugly reality of the agile movement right now, the agile practicing right now. And yet, I'm super excited about business agility. Vafangulo Agile, welcome business agility. That's one way to go, proposed by Mike in 2017 and by myself since 2019. I dream of the benefit and positive change that working in a more agile way across all domains may bring the people around the world. I dream of an enhanced ability to please customers, to innovate, and to keep employees motivated and engaged, all while making profit for shareholders. What do you think? It's a question to you guys who are listening to this on all platforms. Video today, Friday, the 23rd of June, 2023, and anywhere, anytime, from Spotify to Apple Podcasts. I am with Mike Inspiration, asking you, do you have that dream? The dream to positive change, that working in a more agile way across all domains of the enterprise, to bring people together from all around the world to innovate and co-create? Do you have that dream of enhanced agility to please customer, innovate, keep employees motivated and engaged, all while making profits for shareholders? It's called, I'm super excited because this is the business agility and the conscious leadership. So what do you think? Am I just growing to be an overly critical, straight shooter, grumpy old man? Or wait, there's someone knocking at the door. Oh, I think they are representative of the Agile industrial complex. They are now threatening me at handled loudspeaker. Shut up or else. All jokes aside, guys, we are part of this AIC ourselves. Even Agile Lounge, I confess, and I'm so sorry about that. It's not us versus them. It's all of us involved with Agile, with a capital A, one way or another. Yes, indeed, Mike, unfortunately. But not enough of us are able to say we, the agilistas, are not that agile. Mike, I love you. Okay. Here is the punchline. Come on. You know this was coming. I plead to you, the reader, the listener, the watcher, that if you understand the problems stated above in this article that I just read you, and since you made it reading this far, or you made it listening this far, that it is your moral obligation, now that you understand these problems, to help it whatever shape or form and whatever role you are involved with, to improve the Agile movement as much as you can. All that takes a yes. Thank you in advance, and I pledge to do the same myself. Signed, Mike Beedle, commented by Alexandre Frédéric Joly, and Mike Beedle was the creator of the Enterprise Scrum for business agility, and the co-author of the Agile Manifesto for software development. He was the chair executive officer of Enterprise Scrum and many others venture. So Mike, we thank you for that. And yes, I really reiterate that in the comment below, you'll tell me yes, and what could we do together to improve. Otherwise, the community will be just being still hijacked by those conventional agilists that just do it for the money. but they don't even provide the promise to their client. So that's the worst thing. They do it for their profit, but they don't help those business to be more profitable like it was the goal. And that was also my intention a couple of months ago in the Dare Real Agile, is it communist or capitalist? Because my time with Mike, when I was mentored by him and coached by him, it was not just about enterprise Scrum and business agility. It was also about the business making, the entrepreneurship, and all of this agile stuff should make us more rich. I remember like Michael talking to me often with a gin in New York City, especially when it was our point of rendezvous. Me from Montreal, him from Chicago and New York. Talking about that he wanted to be a billionaire by the age of 55. Yeah. So guys, I can't wait to have your comment, and I implore you to share this video. I'd like it to be spread a lot, and all the link that I'm gonna put also in the description of this video. So please share this video from my YouTube channel and my Rumble channel, and it is crucial that you subscribe and hit the notification, especially on Rumble, because Rumble, it's the future of communication and communicating open ID, open source ID and everything. So I implore you, please go, the link, it's all there. Whatever you are listening to this, you have all the link to reach my Rumble channel and make it happen. Please, 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 it's so easy. You go there, you create an account, you subscribe, and you hit the bell. And if for some reason you are from France, I know that your government is an authoritarian bastard, providing you to have access to Rumble, but either you use a VPN, faking that you are outside France because you just have to fake you are German, or you at least subscribe to my YouTube channel for now. So I wish you a very good weekend. Very good long weekend for those in Quebec celebrating Saint Jean-Baptiste, Saint John the Baptist. That for me is the Inti Raymi in Peru as well. And I hope you like it. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down and tell me why you disagree with Mike and myself and some of us who would like to make it better and wiser and would like to act as a real agilist. So on that, once again, remember who you really are. You're not an agile coach. You're not a consultant. You're not a scrum master. You are a wonderful person. I said person. Sorry about that. You are wonderful. You are powerful. And you are free to be whoever you wanted to be and to do whatever you wanted to do in respect of one another. Coach AF is signing off. Cheers.